Studios Show. Today I have a special guest, Ridvan. We are very excited to have you. I really love your energy, number one. And I just love the passion. And I think that resonates with me because I think when you're passionate about something, it makes work more fun, and you can see that come out through your projects. And that's what I've recognized with your work is, you know, that element of fun and the curiosity that you have in something that you get inspired by, you like to put that into practice in your projects. So the show, the Belvista Studios Show, is all about kind of looking at inspirational, different ideas for e-learning. And you're going to show us some of your work today and tell us how you created it and allow us to be curious so that we can all be inspired and create magic just like you. So over to you. You have control. You can share your screen and inspire us.
I would like to show the first one. Actually, okay, let me show you first.
Okay.
All right, this is a storytelling app. But actually we consider, you know, when we create e-learning and we focus on just one person and we create an e-learning course for one person, but and we use Articulate or different kind of tools. But in this one, actually, it was created with an e-learning tool, but it is not just for one person. It is an app which can be used together in an online lesson, in online lessons, or maybe in class, or maybe when people come together for fun. Okay, let me show you it in action first.
Cool.
There is an audio. I should copy the sound. Yeah.
Very professional.
Yeah, when we said that, okay, so the work which you are most proud of, it is one of them.
Yeah, cool. Because I asked you to prepare some work that you're most proud of. So that's what we're seeing. I love that sound effect. That was cute.
Yeah. In here, if you want, you can just start playing, or you can learn how to play.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start.
Cool.
All right. Before choosing our level, let me tell you how I created this one, or why I created something like this. Actually, there was a challenge, an Articulate challenge, and when I have time, which I can't find that time these days, enough time. When I see that challenge, I said, okay, so I can create something simple. And the challenge was about using variables in a different way.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, okay, so I can create an interaction. There can be, let me show you, some cards. And when the user click on the cards, there will be random icons.
Okay.
And then the user will use them and tell a story. I created it. It was very simple. Then, you know, at that time, it was the schools were just closed, and most teachers they started to have lessons, you know, online. And for a lot of people, it was a new thing, and they didn't know how to do this and what kind of activities. And I said, okay, so it can be used in Zoom. You know, there are some Zoom rooms, and teachers can divide them, and they can start to build their stories.
Yeah.
And basically, this is the first level. And when the user, when the students, or I don't know, the players, when they use one of these, the cards, we click on them, and it is done. Okay, so I created the first page, then I show it to my first, how can I call, inspector, maybe, or reviewer, my wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Was
always
she kind, or what was her feedback?
uh, she loves games and she's a teacher too. And
Oh,
then
cool.
she started giving me some ideas. Okay, so why don't you add this one? Why don't you do this one?
Yeah.
And also I shared it with some friends, some teachers, because I want them to use it. And
Yeah.
they gave me some feedback and they said, all right, so it is nice, but okay, so we're gonna play it one time then. So why
Mm.
don't you add some levels and it can be more challenging?
Yeah.
And I started to add these levels. And the second level, now, uh, in the first level, you just click on the cards, and whenever when you are ready, you start to tell the story. But in the second level, it gives you options, and let's say 30 seconds. And in 30 seconds, you have to build up a story. And when the time is up, you have to tell your story. And also, if you want, you can skip. And for the third level, it, I thought it must be something different and more challenging.
Yeah.
And here I used an idea from a card game in, I think it is just in Turkey because it's a Turkish company. It's called Kulenga.
Okay.
And in that one, it is actually, if you have seen the Rory story cubes, they are very popular, they have different shapes on the cube and you throw them and the dice and you start to build a story. And I got the idea from there, and then I combined it with another mechanic which I got from Kulenga.
Yeah.
And now on third level, there's a random sentence. So
Mm.
you made up your story, maybe you planned it and you told your partner, but when you are ready, I said, okay, now I'm a I'm from a different planet. So you have to use the sentence
Oh, okay.
in your story. Somehow you have to add it. And let's move to the last level. And it has the same process with the master level, but in this one, at the end, I ask the players share their stories. Let's say, skip this part, and they found a dead body. It is done. Now, we have to wait for the applause. Now, you can write your story here, and you can practice, you can talk with your partners together or with your
Yeah.
students together. Then copy your story and go to the Padlet page.
Mm.
And you can share your story here with the community. And if you want, you can add the pictures and which icons you used in your story.
Yeah.
And share and let people read and make some comments.
That's cool. So what kind of things can you use Padlet for?
For a lot of things, actually. Sometimes I use it for, planning, and sometimes I use it as a mood board. I bring, for example, for an e-learning course, which we were working on, I put there, the images, icons, the fonts, and some inspirations and some ideas, and
Yeah.
I put there and share it with the partners, and we use it to make up our, the whole plan by using it as a base. Because it is easier, so you can add almost anything there,
Yeah.
and people can make some comments. And while I was working as a teacher, I used to use it in different ways too. For example, in one lesson, by the way, I used to work as a EFL teacher. I used to teach English. Uh, in one lesson, we made it like the second-hand shops board. And if you want to sell something, and you take the picture of that thing and put there a notice and describe the
Yep.
product and how much it is and then students can go on discussion and make bargains in there.
Ah, nice.
So actually it can be used for many things, especially, there are some e-learning courses and they are not kept in an LMS.
Mm-hmm.
And but most of the time while doing all these lessons or having all those lessons, people somehow they're alone, and
Yeah.
we need to build a community. And of course, if you don't have an if you have an LMS, okay, so in that part you can, or if you have a website, you can create a forum or a discussion page there. But if you don't have these ones, or if you don't want to, I don't know, invest time and money in there, you can use Padlet, and people can come together and
Yeah.
they can share their ideas or they can discuss. It can be used for many things. And yeah, I think it's really cool.
Yeah, nice.
And while creating this course, for example, I really like using, different text graphics.
Yeah.
I'm not a graphic designer, but I think I spent maybe too much time on, all those design pages. Like, I think every day, almost every day, I visit Behance or Dribble. I said, wow, man, okay, so they're doing great stuff.
Yeah.
And when I have a chance, I try to use those tricks or, some cool graphics got I get from there and
Yeah.
try to use in my courses. But
Do you just look at like the homepage and scroll through, or do you have certain people that you follow?
I have some certain people to follow, especially the game designers.
Ah.
And yeah, if you check my portfolio, you will see that, okay, the most of the time I create or I share the interactions which seem like a game, or they're already an e-learning game.
Yeah.
Because I love gamification and the games and those quiz games. Actually, I started e-learning and I met e-learning by the help of this desire, making a game. I think maybe 10 years ago, I used to work as a teacher in a language course. And I saw, in our course books for ELT, there are some always we have some small games, maybe like Jeopardy or Millionaire style.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, so who makes these games and how do they make it? And I start to look for some programs. When I saw that, okay, so there's a lot of coding and you need to do a lot of graphic works. I said, no, okay, so there must be an easy way. And I found a quiz maker. I think it was Wondershare's quiz maker. It was very simple, but it just gave you the chance to change the background. And I put there some game backgrounds, and my students loved it. And I used to work with adults, and
Yeah.
I had a student, and he used to work in IT department, and he said, Ridvan, I think you should use this program, and we use it for some simple stuff in our company. And he introduced me to Articulate, and at that time, Articulate, it was, I think it's early time. There weren't many templates, but still at the time there was very strong community. And I bought the program, start to create some simple interactions, and by using those templates. And I saw one interaction. It was a football game.
Yeah.
There was the goalkeeper, and you try to make a goal. And I said, okay, I'm gonna do this. I got the template and I worked on the graphic. I don't know how long I worked on it. I really don't know. Then I shared it with the community, and a lot of people, loved it, and they encouraged me. Okay, so that's really good. Go on. And I started to create more interactions. And yeah, at the time, I got help from a lot of people, especially David, David Anderson. He helped me a lot, and he encouraged me a lot. And actually, he asked me, so, all right, so you work as a teacher, but why don't you start working as an e-learning developer? Because now I think you have enough pieces for your portfolio. I said, okay, why not?
Wow.
Then I got into the business.
And now you're hooked.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
I love creating something, by using different programs, and also I love the community.
Mm,
And uh, I don't know, I can't say for the other branches, for the other areas, but in L&D department, in L&D world, um, people, they're just open most of the time, and they're when you need help, just ask, and
mm,
people are there to help you,
that's
and I
really
love
cool.
it.
Yeah, I love it too. I do. And I love the logo, and I noticed that you have it like throughout. I think that's really
Ah,
cool because you're branding it. How did you create it? Did you, because you said you like
uh,
playing with different fonts and stuff. Is it just a font
okay,
that you've
so
exported as
for
an
that
image?
one, no, for that one, I didn't create that one.
Okay.
Uh, when I decided to focus on just, my e-learning career, I used to have a blog, but I used to put there everything about my design works, e-learning works,
Wow.
ELT works,
Yep.
websites, and there was a chaos. And when I said, okay, so if I'm gonna work as an e-learning developer, it should be somehow, professional. It should seem professional. And I I told you I had a lot of designers. Uh, Still, actually, I have a lot of graphic designers around me, and I said, okay, so can you make me a logo? Okay, I'm gonna pay
Nice.
something like that. Yeah, one of my friend did it, but I paid. Okay, so it wasn't free.
Cool. That's cool. Where did you get your sound effects from? Are they from like an open source? Are they royalty free that you've used in these ones, this project?
Most of the time, I use, especially for the challenges. If I
Mm,
create for the challenges, I use those free libraries. YouTube has a audio library, and
yeah.
you can find their music or some sound effects. Also, Orange Studio, I guess it was Orange Studio, free sounds, and you can find a lot of sound effects there.
Yeah.
And sometimes, some friends share some audio libraries. Also, open game art.
Okay.
You can find how hundreds and thousands of uh, graphic resources and sounds effects.
Yeah.
Uh, what else do I use? Uh, Sounds FX. As far as I remember now, I haven't used it lately, but there was a website like Sound FX, I guess.
Yeah.
I used to use that a lot. Now I have a library actually because
Yeah.
of this. I don't know where I got it.
No,
And I said,
that's good.
okay, this one is good. Okay, so let's use it from
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, no, that's good. You do build up a library over time. And I guess for
Yeah,
people watching, just be careful with can you use it for commercial use? Check the licensing on them. Are they royalty free as well?
yeah.
The oh,
I
you go.
really consider that one. And if I used, the graphics or sound effects from somewhere from, the free one, I try to give the credits to all
Mm,
those people in the course, or if I share it on, on Articulate community or on my page, I try to give the credits to all those people.
yeah,
And yeah,
that's cool. I noticed you have were you using GIFs in there as well? Like the little
yeah,
question mark, is that a GIF? Where did you create
yes.
that?
Okay, so this one actually in the show, I guess it was mentioned. Okay, let me, Lottie files.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah,
I just learned
I
about these.
Yeah, I use this page a lot. Uh, they're actually, it's not for, for the files, uh, JSON files, but you can convert these ones to GIF.
Mm.
Just there's a problem, so the background, you can't get transparent background.
Yeah.
And you have to do some tricks, and using white background, or here you can change the background here, and
Yeah.
first decide your background on Articulate, then come here, change the background and download it, convert to GIF. And I use a lot of GIF files from here.
That's a
And
really good tip.
yeah, this is really nice.
Oh yeah, there is your guy as well. That's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, you see it.
Yeah, nice. It's really beautiful.
Exactly.
And I guess for people that aren't aware, GIFs, you can't remove transparent background like a PNG, you can. So that's why Ridwan's saying, you need to either have it on a white background or change the background of this GIF to match what's in your articulate file.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I try to remove the background. There are some as GIF, as far as I know, or on maybe Photoshop you can do the same thing, but it loses the quality. So I don't want to lose the quality, so I use the same background.
Yeah,
And
yeah, good
there is
idea.
another place actually which I use a lot for the GIF files, and it is stories.
Oh yeah,
I
those
think
are nice.
yes, all designers should know this page, and they're they're doing something amazing, and especially this designer. I don't know his name, but the library called Bro. I really love it. Okay, so I can make the posters of these designs, and I can put them all around my in my house, and I love that. I don't know how and why, but when I look, okay, so some of these, and it's like a piece of art for me, and
Yeah.
then I love graphic design. Okay.
Well, show us. Bring one of them up and show like what you can do,
For
because I think
example.
this is a great tool.
Okay, so actually, let's say search. Maybe we can find that one. Up, up, up. There was a detective. Huh. Okay, so I use it in one of my courses.
Yeah.
Actually, in my challenges. Okay, so after that one, I can show the challenge.
Cool.
And here you can hide or show, the elements. And if you want just the character, and let's say background is simple or hidden, and you can download as a PNG or SVG, and it also gives you some alternatives. But then, okay, so I'd like to use all of them, oops, sorry, and animate it. Again, we can see all these things here, all the elements. If you want, you can animate them one by one or just randomize. Okay, this one's good. And I said I've got a character, and it gives you different entrance animation. And you can animate them one by one. And also when you say animate children, all these vector files, and it gives you something like this. Okay, so let's remove these ones because I just need this detective and animate children. And why is it like that? Okay, something like this. Something
broken.
like this. Okay. Then, if you want, okay, this is the entrance animation, and if you want, it could be that looping animation.
Oh, I think it's because you have the floor selected, and you need to select the character over on the left, maybe.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, now the guy is floating. And you can arrange the duration and the other kind of stuff. So how long will it be? Or, again, we have the same problem, the background problem. And I do the same thing. First on Articulate, I decide my background and come here and change the background. And then you can download as a GIF image or video. But you say it says that okay, so now you can't download because probably I make it too long
Right.
for the yes. Now you can. It's in looping you have to arrange the timing, and it gives you different options to use. But I have never used this part. You know, probably it's used to use in your website, and you download this GIF image or video, and add your story or
Very cool.
e-learning course or whatever you want to use.
Yep.
Okay, so do you want me to show this
Yeah.
how I use the guy? Okay. Oops. I call this interaction the hunt.
Oh.
Okay, here's a trick. You know, at the beginning, the background was white, but
Yeah.
now the background has changed, and I downloaded the GIF image, and also I download this guy as a PNG, transparent PNG. And when the entrance animation is over, say, oop, and it changes actually. There are two detectives, and
Yeah.
the other one is fading away, and our PNG, the transparent PNG, comes with the background.
You've done it well. It's very seamless. You wouldn't know.
Yeah, I sometimes I'm a little obsessive about these things, and I work on it, you know, the seconds and the milliseconds like this.
Yeah.
And one of my friend, she saw how I work and said, okay, so you're just creating an e-learning course. It doesn't have to be like an, you know, a piece of art all the time. Okay, so sometimes you just do it and leave it, man. Okay, so you can't leave it. Okay, so you want to work on it again and again, or change something. So it doesn't have to be an art, but I love it, especially if it is a challenge and
Yeah.
ask, okay, so it's, you know, David gives us just 1 week to finish this challenge, but I used to try to, you know, create something in 1 week and share it with the community and to be on the list. But later, I start to see these challenges as an, you know, escape because
Hmm.
for 2 years I usually work with, you know, the companies from Turkey, and in Turkey the sector is a bit different from the, you know, the United States or the UK. In here, mostly we do, you know, audio-based courses and like the animation and mostly videos, you know, animated videos, this kind of stuff. And it doesn't give you a lot of chance to use different functions of Articulate.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'd like to use the JavaScript or I'd like to use the different functions. And maybe because of this, I spend too much time on my challenge entries. And I have a file on my desktop. It's called Not Yet, and it is full of ideas for the challenges. I see one challenge. I say, oh, okay, it's gonna be how to use the hotspots. Actually, I think it was last week's challenge. I said, oh, okay, so we can do a game like this, and I do my research. I find my, you know, idea to use. I got the graphics, then I put them in a folder. Said, okay, I'm gonna check it later.
Nice.
So when I have time, I'm gonna work on it. And classic, there's a Word file, and I take some notes about the interaction when I have something in my mind. Okay, so go there and take some notes and go on your life. And
Yeah.
one day I will finish all of them. I hope so. So I don't try to finish it in 1 week because, as I said before, it is my uh, escape point,
Yeah.
and I try to have some fun while doing these ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, before
By
you,
the way,
oh, I was just gonna say the that title screen is really nice. Where did you
mhm,
get inspiration?
yeah,
Is it again
yeah.
from Behance and that, or where do you choose your
Yes, I have
inspiration?
to. I have to say this. I forgot it. Sorry. Again, FreePick. You know, FreePick
Mm.
is our best friend. I think yes, we have to pay something to them. And FreePick they have another website, another free, amazing website, SlidesGo.
Ah.
And here, they're basically PowerPoint files, but most of them, the design is amazing here. And how can I say, they're different from the PowerPoint files which you can find on the internet. And I think they spent really good time on creating these. And I'm not sure if I can find the same PowerPoint file, which I got the background.
Mm-hmm.
I got the background and the style from that PowerPoint.
Very
file.
good. That's cool. I never heard of that tool, so thank you for sharing.
That's really good. And actually, if you want to these days, all right. So, if you want to make some games for for teachers, actually, there are some ready games, and they're really well designed, and it's really fun. It can be used. It's this one, escape room. I found it.
Cool.
Yeah, I got the design idea
so
and some
cool.
graphics from here.
Yeah. That's awesome. And so what,
All right.
when you download that,
actually,
it's a PowerPoint template, yeah? Oh, that's nice. That's really nice.
Yeah, exactly. In this one also, I used a JavaScript code. Now we opened on computer, so we didn't see that screen. But if you try to open this interaction on your mobile phone, at the beginning, there will be a pop-up after this screen. Okay, so we're not gonna see it. When you say start, actually we want to see the welcome screen first. We will see that screen, and that screen says that you are testing this interaction on a mobile phone. So you won't be able to experience the whole interaction fully, because I didn't understand why, and I couldn't solve the problem. But here, for example, it's in this one we are trying to find the sexist words here, and manpower. Let's say that workers is one of the correct answers. It works here, you get the badge, you get a star here, but on mobile phone I didn't understand. It doesn't work on first time, but when you play the same game again, it works.
Oh, that's so weird.
There's a problem, and sometimes I really enjoy these kind of problems. Okay, so if there's a problem, how can I solve this one? And for the watchers, and if you are an articulate user, you have to dig that community. And if you're having a problem, probably someone else has had this problem before, and some people worked on that problem. And I found this code. It was a very long code, and I don't know what it means. Just I know how to use it.
Yeah.
I know about JavaScript, tiny things.
Me too.
But I know how to use them, and I know where to use them. So you don't need to be a coder, but it is good to know. It's good to know how to use it and where to use it.
Yeah.
And that code, I think someone needed that code for something else. But when I see that one, okay, so I can use that code for this one, and at least I can warn my, testers or players, and that okay, so it's not gonna work fully. And actually, a few days ago, Devlin Peck, he shared something similar code, but it was just Internet Explorer. Still, some companies use it, and sometimes it makes some problems.
Yeah.
And he put there a code, and it says that okay, so you're using Internet Explorer, and if you want to experience it better, if you want a better experience, you should use other modern
Chrome or Firefox. Yeah, we have to do that for our clients as well.
Yeah. It
That's
is
cool.
good to know where to look, actually.
Yeah, So what you're saying, what he's saying is go to the articulate community, because a lot of people have already had the problem. There are people that are like really into the JavaScript code, and they're really generous in that you can copy and paste the code, and then they tell you where to put it into articulate to fix issues like what we've just been discussing.
Exactly.
So yeah, just Google it. Someone solved it already for you.
Or you should know some people. For example, while creating this one, I used a code from Matt Bibley.
Okay.
You know him, Matt Bibley, and okay, so it is really hard to pronounce his name, but okay, so I can't pronounce his name, but and there's another. I'm really ashamed now that I can't pronounce and I forget his name. There's another great articulate hero, our hero, and he is really into JavaScript, and they shared a lot of things on their blogs. And
Right.
just know these people and spend some time on their websites. And at least I did this one, and I spent some time on their websites, and okay, so there's a function like how to create a certificate in Articulate, or how to add a timer with JavaScript, and they share everything. They share the story files, they share the code, they share how you do it. Yeah, Google it and follow those people, and when you, I'm sure, okay, I haven't, but I'm sure if you ask about the problem you have on that file, I'm sure they will help.
Yeah, they are very generous. What in the notes of the video, I've put in Matthew Bibby, Devlin Peck, David Anderson. Do you want to go Google who you're talking about that you can't remember the person's name? So then we'll add them too, and then
so I'm gonna do it with a different.
Okay, yeah. I'll just entertain the viewers.
Okay.
I'll probably get copyright because my song's so good. Well, I really like.
So now I can't find him, but all right. So
okay, he doesn't exist. It's just an
no.
imaginary friend that you have.
He exists. Actually, he has just okay. Maybe I can, if I tell this one, maybe you can remember him. He has just started work in Amazon.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Let's stop talking about this.
Okay. Yeah. Moving on. Take us through this one.
Yeah.
So you've used stories, free pick, slides go to make your screen.
Yeah.
I like it.
And a lot of files.
Yep.
This one, and of course, flat icons. And when I need an icon first, the first page for the icons, I visit the flat icon. And also there are some videos and some on their blog how to create a new icon set, or how can you combine two different icons and create a new one. Yeah, and they're really generous. They share a lot of files here. And yeah, I guess that I spent a lot of time in this page too, and I really like. Okay, so I'm not gonna say it. Okay, this is the last time. I love graphic design, and I find it really inspiring. Sometimes some people go to seaside or go to the top of the mountain, and they look at the view to get relaxed, and I look at the design pages.
That's cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's beautiful. I say.
Show us some of your favorite sources of inspiration. Show us some of your places that you. Instead of looking at the mountains, you look at the design.
The first one, I can say that, of course, Behance. And on Behance, okay, now I use a different browser, and because I won't be able to use my sign-in. But when you, can I find it? Let's say Articulate, and you will find some designers, and they are not only, this is my page.
Cool.
They're not only, when we go to the Articulate page, and there are, a lot of heroes, they share their work, and But here, some e-learning
That's cool.
works designed by some graphic designers, some lucky e-learning designers. They have a chance to work with the graphic designers. Probably they create something amazing. And I think most e-learning developer or ID, they don't use Behance to share their work. And
Yeah.
I can say that I start to share my work here recently.
Yeah.
And in here, you will find a lot of graphic designer who worked on e-learning projects.
Yeah.
And it's really inspiring. And you can see really different point of views. And also, some not only e-learning, you can check here the web design.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, okay, so sometimes when an e-learning course, when it looks like a web page, it can disturb some people, but we can learn a lot of things from the, UX designers for the app design or, websites or some
I
other
agree.
designs. And all, of course, okay, I have to, when if we talk about the inspiration, we have to talk about that company, and because they changed my understanding of design and how you can make it simpler and how it can be simpler, but it can be more effective. The faster course and dear Kalis. And
Yeah.
in the past, I used to make, really colorful, a little complex, and the font is different and this kind of stuff. But when I start to use their templates and check their designs, and it really changed something on my design too. And I owe a big thank you to them.
So
And,
it sounds like you have an appreciation for design, and then you try and experiment, and then you
yeah,
also reflecting on your own designs, and
we
comparing
can say
them
that.
then and then improving them.
Exactly, we can say this.
Yeah, that's cool. Faster course, we're on one of the Belvista Studios Show's episodes, so you can go back and have a look, because Liga is a graphic
Oh,
designer,
yes,
and
I'm a big fan of her.
she
I
is
always
so
know.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, she's really, really good.
And I should just show this one because
Okay.
lately I use this design tool a lot. I know most of the designers and now in our world, people start to use the Adobe XD. It is very similar. This one is very similar to that one. You can create some, you know, app screens or
Yeah.
web page screens. But here's the thing: in this one, Lunacy, it has. Actually, I can open and show.
Cool.
It has its own libraries, and as far as I know, and Adobe XD, it doesn't have its own library in it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let me share. Let me see. Yeah. In here, you see the libraries, the icons. Okay, so these are the classic ones. But here, the mask photos and the photos, and here you can create your own scenes. And with different characters, different prompts and backgrounds and objects.
Yeah.
And I think it's really good. But I love this part, the illustrations, and there are a lot of libraries. And okay, so this one, I use this cute robot in one of my designs, and actually we're almost, time is almost up, but we can finish with that one.
Yeah.
And this Lunacy, also the Icon 8 offers some online tools too, and they're free.
Yeah.
And I know that, okay, so for most designers, these are important, and sometimes because I have experienced that too, and you have a little budget in that project, and the customer wants something amazing, and
Yeah.
you need to use some free files. And I know you do the same thing, and sometimes if I can't find the necessary files or the files which I want, I buy 1 month creative market
Yeah.
subscription or stuff. And yes, okay, so I get all of them. But okay, having your own library is good, but sometimes you can't find what you need. And uh, these things are amazing. I think these designers, the companies, they share a lot of stuff. And
Yeah.
this library, it's growing. And when I downloaded this program, there weren't that many too many libraries. But now I see that it is getting bigger and bigger.
Very
And
good.
I strongly suggest this tool too. Adobe XD is good, but also Adobe XD is good, but also this one can be really helpful.
Do you often use like, because this is like kind of putting your idea together, right? When you use something like
Mm-hmm.
XD or Lunacy, and then you go and recreate it in Articulate. What are the advantages or disadvantages of do that? Like, why would you do that and not just jump straight into Articulate and design something?
First of all, the shortcuts. Because okay, so I have been using Photoshop for a long time, and using the keyboard and the mouse, and while creating something, you have to zoom in, zoom out, and the copy paste and this kind of stuff, and also in the the different of Photoshop or this kind of tools, they offer you many more things. And
Mm.
for example, you want to remove the background of an image, or you want to resize that image. And sometimes it is not easy to do this in Articulate. And uh, also it's about your computer speed, and sometimes it becomes heavy, and it's getting hard to work with Articulate, and you have other programs, and they are open. And but when you work with these programs, it is softer, it is faster, and when you design, you think something and you want to see it on the screen quickly. And if you wait, for example, you put there the photo, and you wait, and so okay, so what was I doing? So maybe because of this, maybe I started all this design stuff with
Yeah.
Photoshop, and I know many things about it, and I feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
And yeah, these are the reasons. And I see the Articulate where the magic happens, and or you bring all those things together, and then you put it in the
Mm.
action. And of course, you can create something in Articulate too, and you can create your own images or scenes, this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's all about your habits, I guess.
Mm. I like that. That's cool. Would you have any tips? Because you do a lot of the e-learning development and you're working with
Mm-hmm.
instructional designers. Do you have any tips for instructional designers to give better storyboards or that to you as a developer?
Um, okay, so they shouldn't say this. Okay, so I give you the freedom. No. Okay, so you don't give me the freedom. Okay, there is a scene and there are just notes. Okay, so I said, all right, how are we gonna create this? Okay, so do whatever you want. I give you the freedom. No, you don't give me the freedom. You give me the anxiety, stress. Okay, so sometimes you have to restrict me, and
Right.
freedom is not a good thing all the time. And also another thing is the feedback.
Okay.
uh, Lately I have, okay, so I hope they don't watch this one, but I have
They
this
will, you're
problem.
famous. They want to support you.
Okay. The feedback circle, feedback time, it takes too much time. For I sent the file, I said, okay, so I'm gonna check it today, but for 2 weeks, okay, so two
Mm.
weeks pass, and still you don't have that feedback, and you don't know how to move. You said, okay, you write something, said, okay, I'm gonna check it, and I'm gonna come back. I work on multiple projects, and if you don't answer me in 2 weeks, sometimes I said, okay, so I go back and say, why did I create this one? Okay, so what was the main point? This
Yeah,
is
you forget.
another problem. Yeah, sometimes, not always, but sometimes you can forget. And it is, yeah. Also, I know. Okay, so now the world is in a different age, and also we are having difficult times. Everybody has its own thing. I can understand it can take some time, but it shouldn't take too long. I guess.
Yeah. Okay, I like that, and I really like that you have the freedom, because it isn't. You need to help. We need to guide and restrict, give constraints, give parameters to help develop, and you then bring it to life. I will take that note down and make sure that I do.
Yeah.
Cool. Is there any other tools or things that you want to show us before we finish up?
It's a small one, but let me share the screen. Sometimes, a file is too big and you don't want to open the Photoshop or any design tool, and I use an online tool, tiny PNG, and if the
Such a
file is
good
too
tool.
big, yeah, and you don't lose the quality, and you just drop your PNG or JPEG files, and it makes it smaller.
Yeah.
And it saves time for me. And one
Because
more
this
thing,
one is
maybe.
when you, I think how we've used it is like a client might say that the course, their LMS only accepts like 50 megabyte course.
Yeah.
And so when you export your SCORM file, you can go into that, sorry, the zip file, and you can get all the images, drag and drop them in here, and then replace them. And then that's how you bring your file size down for that LMS significantly. So it's really good.
Also, two more things.
Yeah.
Again, this one Icon aids another online tool, and you can create your by using their libraries. You can create your own scenes, and it is free. Icon aid vector creator, and the one which I start to use a lot lately, and I learned it from Troy Ashman, Cloudinary. Yeah, I saw it on his website. And sometimes you want to use videos in your
Yeah.
e-learning course, and it takes too much size. And I started to use this one. If the file is too big, or if they don't want to keep it in their course or LMS, or sometimes they said, okay, so we want to use this video from YouTube, but we don't want to show that YouTube logo. And yeah, then we download their videos and upload it here and give the link from here. It works like a storage area, like Amazon S3 or Google Cloud. Yes, I use these ones a lot these days.
Very cool. Amazon S3.
Yeah.
Cool.
Would you like to finish with this cute robot?
Yeah, show us your robot. He's cute.
Yeah. In here also I used a little JavaScript at full screen.
Nice. It's such a nice touch. I do like that. Is that motion paths?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, nice.
I used this in one of my courses, which I created for a mining company.
Yep.
And of course, it wasn't like this. I said, okay, so I can use it here too, and give it a funny look. And I found these images on this icon aids that program Lunacy.
Yep.
Yeah, it is something like this.
It's cute.
Sometimes it is really interesting because I like this design, but I consider it is the best thing I have ever designed. But the community loved it. It's like, oh my God, it's beautiful. It's like, so, okay. I have better pieces. Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing. You gave us so many resources. I have like a massive list. I think there's maybe over 20 resources that I've written down. They'll be in the description.
Right.
So thank you for that.
My pleasure.
And thank you for all the ideas and the inspiration. It was nice to see your stuff.
Yeah.
I think everyone watching can really see that your passion brings so much curiosity to what you do, and that allows that creativity to play out in what you develop. And I think that's really, really nice. And I just love that about you. So thank you for your generous sharing. We appreciate you. And I'm sure you have inspired, because I feel inspired.
Thank you. Thank you for your kind words, and thank you for inviting me here.
It's a pleasure.